Good morning, everybody. Mr. Frechette back. Day 2, or Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Like I said, I miss everybody. It's really different not being in the classroom. It just really is different. I don't know what else to say, I guess. But today, moving on with some of our math stuff, I want to do a little more review. We talked about area yesterday. Area of a triangle, and we talked about that area of a triangle is area equals 1/2 base times the height. Today I want to look at some area of squares, rectangles, and parallelograms, just so we can, have a good understanding moving forward when we talk about volume and surface area. So today, we're going to look at area of a square, rectangle, and parallelograms. We're going to look at a couple examples. We'll look at a parallelogram, we'll look at a square, and then we will look at a rectangle, and then I'll show you some other practice that you can do going through. So let's start out with the first one. So we have a parallelogram here, and a parallelogram, our formula is area equals base times the height. Okay, so, very similar to a triangle, except in a triangle, you're multiplying the base and the height by 1/2. In this one, you're not. So we have our height right here. So this is a special case because the height's on the side. This is not the height right here. Please keep that in mind. That's not the height. And our base right here is 7.7. And then we're just going to go through and we're going to do a regular calculation. This doesn't take long. So we have area equals base times height. Area equals 7.7 times the height, which is 2. And we notice our units are meters. And when we're done with this, obviously, like I said before, you always want to have your calculator. And I haven't forgotten. I will make sure you guys have some kind of app. If you don't have a calculator with you, we can do that. And we get 15.4. So area equals 15.4 meters squared, right? We're dealing with the second dimension because you're dealing with, the size of the space on the inside. So it's not one dimension. It's not just meters. It's 2 dimensions. So keep that in mind going through. So we'll move the calculator aside, and we're going to move on over here to this square. And let me just pull this over here so you guys can see. So we have a square, right? So you see these wonderful like boxes in each corner. All that means is those are 90-degree angles. Okay, so in a square you have 4 90-degree angles. Each corner is 90 degrees. If we added them all up, we'd have 360 degrees. But just an idea. So the formula for area for a square is you can look at it both ways. So it's base times height, or area equals side squared. Because all the sides are the same, we can use side squared. So area equals base times height, let's do it that way. So we know it's a square because it's telling us that our dimensions are 1 by 1. So that means that all of these are 1 inch. So I could even go in and I'll label that as well. And if I make these little tick marks for you, that also tells you that every side is equal or the same length. So we put in our area. Area equals 1 times 1. Or we can go over here, area equals 1 squared. And when it's all said and done, we get 1 inch squared, or area equals 1 inch squared. So you get the same thing either way. So as you can see, there's a couple different formulas when you work with this. And that's kind of like, that's how it works. So review stuff that you guys already know. Let's jump down to 4. I'll skip 3. We're going to jump down to 4. And this is, yep, if you said it correctly, it is a rectangle. So I'll put these little tick marks in. That tells us that those 2 sides are equal and that those 2 sides are equal. So same difference, area equals base times height. But in this situation, you also have to know this is 8 and this is 6. So no difference. So we put in our information. Area equals 6 times 8, and then area here 8 times 6. You can put it in your calculator, but I'm going to do it right in my head. 6 times 8 is 48, and we have 48 inches squared. So a quick review. Nothing too hard, nothing that you haven't seen before. But let's move on down here. I'm not going to do any more, but I'm going to show these to you. so you guys have them. Here, let me do some adjusting here. There we go. So as you can see these, if you want to take some time and practice these, I know Mrs. Dombrowski and Mrs. McKeechik, they have posted a lot of things, you know, especially with Khan Academy. If you have questions on that too, please, you know, send comments or do different things. You know, in the meantime, as you guys are doing different things at home, you know, your academics and you're having fun, hopefully you're celebrating doing something with St. Patrick's Day today. Hopefully you can, you know, hopefully there'll be a rainbow of some sort so you can, you know, find the end of that rainbow and get that pot of gold. Yeah, that's right. Mr. Frechette, awful corny joke, isn't it? But that's okay. All right, so, you know, I'm also working on something else. Once you guys get your Chromebooks on Wednesday and Thursday, there's this, you know, application on Google called Google Meet, and it's a great video conferencing application that we can use to talk kind of in person, you know, so social distancing is not an issue. So that's something I'm hopefully going to try with you guys and also maybe with Mrs. Dombrowski and Mrs. McKeechik. So, you know, stay tuned for that. Keep checking these YouTube channels, and I'll be commenting on Google Classrooms and reaching out to all of you. So, you know, have a great day. And, you know, like I said before, I hope to be back in the classroom as soon as possible. See you guys. Bye.